Well, we've been in the book of Genesis, and we've been looking at chapter 1, the creation, and seeing God's magnificent power and his sovereignty over even the universe as he flung things into space in perfect orbit. And we saw the creation of plant life, animal life, and then the creation of man, and then woman taken from man. And we see the Garden of Eden at this point perfect. Everything is according to God's plan. The only thing that wasn't good was for man to be alone, and he fixed that problem by bringing woman to man. But we know what happens next, don't we? We know that God had a perfect plan. In every respect, it was perfect. But then sin's going to enter in, and it's going to muck up God's plan. And one of the things that I think that every Christian should do is share their faith with others. Many people are very timid and they're afraid to. They don't want to be politically incorrect. They're afraid to share their faith. And yet everybody complains about how the earth is all messed up, whether it's climate change, whether it's trash, and whether it's pollution. Everybody complains about politics. Everybody complains about taxes and other things. And remember, God started out with a perfect plan, and then sin entered in. So I want to share a tool with you that you can use. You can download it and put it on your phone, or you can download it and put it on your tablet. And anywhere you are, whether a tablet or a phone, you can share with someone in under 3 minutes a perfect plan of salvation, and also getting involved with the church and growing as a Christian. Imagine that in 3 minutes. So I want to show this video clip to you. You can find it on YouTube and you can find it on Vimeo. It's called 3 Circles, and this is one of about 50 different copies that are available of various lengths. But this is my favorite because it's under 3 minutes. And when somebody starts complaining about something, instead of arguing with them, you can say, I agree with you. We lived in a broken world, and it's a very broken world because it's not the way God designed it. And you've just studied in the last 2 chapters God's perfect design. Now you have a chance, whenever anybody's complaining about anything, to change the conversation from a secular conversation to a spiritual conversation. I agree with you. We live in a broken world. Have you got just 3 minutes to watch a video with me? And then you can take out your phone or your tablet and share this video with them. So let's take a look at the video.
We live in a broken world, surrounded by broken lives, broken relationships, and broken systems. This brokenness is seen in suffering, violence, poverty, pain, and death around us. Brokenness leads us to search for a way to make life work. In contrast to this brokenness, we also see beauty, purpose, and evidence of design around us. The Bible tells us that God originally planned a world that worked perfectly, where everything and everyone fit together in harmony. God made each of us with a purpose, to worship Him and walk with Him. Life doesn't work when we ignore God and His original design for our lives. We selfishly insist on doing things our own way. The Bible calls this sin. We all sin and distort the original design. The consequence of our sin is separation from God, in this life and for all of eternity. Sin leads to a place of brokenness. We see this all around us and in our own lives as well. When we realize life is not working, we begin to look for a way out. We tend to go in many directions, trying different things to figure it out on our own. Brokenness leads to a place of realizing a need for something greater. At this point, we need a remedy, some good news. Because of His love, God did not leave us in our brokenness. Jesus, God in human flesh, came to us and lived perfectly according to God's design. Jesus came to rescue us, to do for us what we could not do for ourselves. He took our sin and shame to the cross, paying the penalty of our sin by His death. Jesus was then raised from the dead to provide the only way for us to be rescued and restored to a relationship with God. This is the good news. This is the gospel. Simply hearing this good news is not enough. We must admit our sinful brokenness and stop trusting in ourselves. We don't have the power to escape this brokenness on our own. We need to be rescued. We must ask God to forgive us, turning from sin to trust only in Jesus. This is what it means to repent and believe. Believing, we receive new life through Jesus, and God turns our lives in a new direction. When God restores our relationship to Him, we begin to discover meaning and purpose in a broken world. Now we can pursue God's design in all areas of our lives. Even when we fail, we understand God's pathway to be restored, the same good news of Jesus. God's Spirit empowers us to recover His design and assures us of His presence in this life and for all of eternity.